I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's a filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
So you were saying that you were thinking I was saying Trump was like articulate?
Yeah, kind of, because like when it kind of seemed like, you know, the way that setting a trap with every word, like. But I do see what you're saying.
Does that.
He does, but it's like it's so like.
I know, it's so ham-fisted and
yeah, that you're like
indelicate.
Yeah.
I get it. He's not a very delicate individual, but I just think it's a
maybe those are the most dangerous traps.
Those are the most dangerous because I mean, look at Jesus. He didn't walk around saying a bunch of flowery shit.
Right.
And all those people went to school back in the day for rhetoric and all that stuff.
Right.
And Jesus kept it gully, kept it on the ground. So, yeah. All right, guys, we got one more song for you.
Stained, It's Been a While is next, and this was chosen for us again by the Sin and Glory group, which the leader is Chris Culp. The actual person winning selection from Myron Harold for 0 zeros. Present Songs Week. I don't know what that means. 0 zeros?
The 2000s.
Oh. I need to go to bed.
That would be the 0 zeros.
Can I just say baby brain?
Baby brain indeed. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. And it's been a while since I first saw you.
Uh-oh.
Screwed everything up again. It must be a very challenging thing to be in a relationship with a rock star.
Yeah.
Because when he screws up, like really, really bad, he could write a song about you.
I know.
And then you hear it on the radio.
I know.
It's like, I was looking, there's this video. I want to show it to you because I know exactly what you'll think when you see the video. So, you know, I don't know.
Okay, couple things while you're pulling that up.
Go ahead.
There was a country song where he basically says that, like, he did all kinds of stuff to get her attention. Like, I'm pretty sure he took her phone number and he wrote it on the one of the lines on the football field, call for a good time. And he put her phone number and stuff like that. Like, he was trying to do all these things to get her attention. And then he basically tells her that now that you hear me singing from your radio, basically, that
Right.
she would be like, oh, shoot, I
That's
messed
what
up.
I'm saying.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
so
Like,
this song...
How do you combat that?
You guys, believe it or not, I've heard this one before.
You have?
Yes, and this is kind of exciting. It was like definitely a take me back one. So so my parents were super restrictive with everything, but for some reason with our licenses, they weren't. So when I turned 15, I got my permit, and like the day I turned 16, I was going for my test. Failed the first time. That sucked. Second time
Failure.
the second time I went, I got my license. And so you know how my parents were about music. So I ended up adopting this philosophy in my car because I would feel... My father was like, I hope that, you know, he's like, once you guys are in your cars, there's nothing I can do to stop you. You guys are going to probably listen to music and stuff. And it's probably not going to be Christian. And, but he was basically hoping that the guilt would keep us. And so what I would do is I would, this is like a drunk person that fights with their wife so they can go to the bar. I would put the Christian station on, and I'm not joking you. They always did these things where they were raising money. It was always like, and anytime that they were in one of these raising money things, they barely played any music and they just talked about getting the money. And it was super frustrating. So if they were doing that, I was like, okay, that's it. Because I didn't come here to listen to talking. I came here for music. And then I would put another station on. And there was like a couple of popular stations that I liked. There was 97.9, which was basically like pop, and it might play stuff like this sometimes. And then there was 93.9, and that one played different, I think more like heavier stuff. But anyway, I don't know which channel it was on. Or this might have been something that my friend played too. It could have been him too, because he liked this type of music.
You mean your boyfriend?
Yes.
The love of your life?
It might have been. I'm not really sure. But I definitely remember listening to this in my car, like windows roll down, turn it up. I loved this song. And I don't know. So when I was listening to it, I was like, it's just taking me back. That was probably, okay, being 16 was extremely difficult in its own rights, but it was also an extremely exciting and liberating time because I got my license. And that was like literally the first freeing feeling that I had, aside from diving into the pool, but that's over quickly. Like being able to get in my car anytime I wanted and just take off was unbelievable. And there was at one point where gas was $2 a gallon. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Now it's like friggin' $70 just to fill up the thing. Okay, so you were gonna show me something? So I'm very excited about being able to hear this song again because I forgot about it. So when it started playing, I was like, yo, this is familiar. And then the more that he kept singing, I was like, I heard this. I was in my red Pontiac Grand Am, the Sport Edition, 2 doors. Not that cool, but I still felt cool because it was better than my friends' cars because they didn't have any. Anyway. Yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. So I liked it. So I thank you, Sin and Glory, for bringing this song back to my attention.
Yeah, you look really happy that you finally had one.
Yeah.
You finally had one.
I finally have something I've heard before. Okay, so what was the thing that you were going to play?
I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you later because I don't want to take away from the song because
oh, okay.
He was saying some
heavy things.
Basically, it sounded to me like it's basically him acknowledging that he has done. You know, when people go through AA or whatever,
Yeah.
Al-Anon or whatever, that one of the major things is taking personal responsibility and not blaming other people for your choices. So I can't blame
talks
my
about his dad.
He did the best he could for me, which is actually a pretty punk rock thing to do, because in metal you're supposed to hate your parents,
right?
And your parents are the causes of all your problems. Yeah. And one of the signs of a mature person is they stop blaming their parents. Newsflash, dear listener. Your parents, I guarantee you, have failed you in millions of ways. Many ways which you will never even know how they failed you. And so if you ever want to offload your responsibility as being a fucked up person or whatever, if you want to offload that, you will always be able to point to your parents and blame them for shit. This is, like I said, when I was in the hospital and I was in that group meeting. Yeah. And they were talking about my parents and all this and all that, and God said, do not listen to those people. I'm going to deal with your parents over what they did, but you are responsible for X, Y, and Z thing. So how about you just deal with the shit you're responsible for? Mm-hmm. Why did you smack the shit out of David Archuela when you're in the 7th grade? He did nothing to you. He did nothing to me.
You did that.
It never, that's never left me at all.
I know. You bring that up a lot. No, AT, he hasn't.
And if I were to put on the table, the acts of violence I participated in, people would be like,
why that one?
You're whining about that?
Yeah.
It's because there was no reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just went in there. The guy was a friend of mine. He was my friend. And some shit happened with my, whatever. And to this day, I don't know why I did it. I don't know. But that was one of the scenes that he brought to my mind and was like, yo, that's not your mom. Yeah. Your mom didn't, you did that, bro. You did that. So, it was a really, it was an important moment for me. That's one of the most important moments in my life was when I was able to just let go of all that shit about my parents and stop, stop holding my mother or my absent father responsible for every horrible thing that I did. Because you've heard some of the stories. I got stories for days. I got excuses for years as to why I was the way that I was. Yep. But it's you, bro. It's you. It's like, do you honestly believe you'd have been Gandhi? Save for your parents? If it wasn't for my parents, I would have been Gandhi. Yeah. Man, stop.
Yeah, if it wasn't that, it'd be something else.
You. Yeah. Now look, people have abusive parents. People have whatever. Even when he says, I can't blame my father, he did the best he could for me. That doesn't mean that his father didn't screw up. Mm-hmm. Just because your parents hurt you doesn't mean they didn't do their best, or doesn't mean they weren't trying. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, you see it all the time. There's an abusive dad or an alcoholic dad or, X, Y, and Z thing. And there are some people that follow the same pattern as their parents. And there are other people that say, nope, I am not. And they do the exact opposite. Yeah. So it's a decision that the child themselves makes. Everybody's given the same choices. You know what I mean? Obviously circumstances are different, but at the same time, if it was you have to choose to be abusive if you were abused, then it would be 100 out of 100 cases. You know what I'm saying? But that's not how it works. There are people that say, nope, the abuse stops here and I'm not passing that on to my kids. So yeah, I agree with you about he also says, and as effed up as it all may seem, the consequences that I've rendered, I've gone and F things up again. So again, over there, he's recognizing that he's the cause, he's the reason. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he said, why must I feel this way? Just make this go away. Just one more peaceful day. So he doesn't want to stay.
Yeah, I like this song because...
You've never heard the song before?
I must have heard this. This is a new metal song. It was Stained, and it was around the time I was in high school, so I've had to have heard it. But unfortunately, I wasn't a big Stained fan, and this is a slow song, and I wouldn't have. I had no tolerance for these slow songs.
I love sappy.
It was all rage. It was all energy. It was all fist through the wall. That was it.
Okay.
So, yeah, but go ahead.
You were talking.
Oh well, my favorite thing about this song is that he was not out of the woods in this song. Because usually what
do you
happens is it's either down in the dumps, I'm a horrible person, blah 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 blah, I suck.
Yeah.
Or it's I overcame this, blah blah blah. This song, it wasn't triumphalistic. It was still he was growing. He was evolving. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm wrong here, I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's saying, I keep fucking shit up. And then at the end of the video, the whole house is on fire, the pictures are on fire. So that is the harsh reality with people in recovery. And it's one of the hardest pills for them to swallow is that they've hurt the people that are close to them so much. And then they make an internal decision, I'm going to change. But sometimes the fallout from the previous actions are just too much, and it's. Sometimes it gets to the point where it's irreparable, but other times it gets to the point where it's like it's not irreparable, but it's kind of never going to be the same unless you do some real dig,
Yeah.
And sometimes the people that are especially in substance abuse, they just don't. They just say, yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's been too many. Yep. Too many start, stop. It's too much for them. And they end up, basically, and I'm glad for them 90% of the time. Like, no, I'm not going to be with you. Even if you've changed completely, that's great.
Yeah.
But I'm not. So that's what I liked about the song was that he wasn't out of the woods. He still had areas where he needed to improve and change. And that's great.
So this is kind of like on subject, off subject. I was talking to this girl that, the majority of the time that we knew her, she was always on something. Vinny ended up doing illegal stuff to help her, which was weird.
Huh? Wait, who's it? Him? Oh.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm gonna write a book about the shit that we did.
So she's been clean.
That was the most metal church of all time. Oh my
gosh. So she's been clean for like a while. And, we were talking about kids because she'd like to have, she was like, about our baby pictures.
Yeah.
Going all through and hearting 1 million of them. Yeah. She's like, don't mind me. I was just enjoying your pictures. And then she was talking a little bit about baby fever and stuff. And then I asked her if she had any kids because you never know. I mean, just because I never saw her with one doesn't mean she didn't have any. And she said that she does actually have a kid. But the baby was taken from her. And, or she put it up for adoption. I'm not really sure which one it was, but she said that that's one of the things that's actually helping her stay clean was she said, any day my baby could walk through that door and am I in a place where I can care for her? And so that's one of the things that's been helping her stay sober is that she wants to be ready for any day. And her daughter is like 9.
That's cool. That's a similar story to Jay, who she had scheduled to abort that baby. She was
scheduled to abort the baby, yeah.
Yeah, and
that baby is
our crew and that baby has been her lifeline.
Oh, she's like, yeah.
It's so ironic because that would be one of those like, I mean, come on, she's on crack. She's a prostitute. Yep. She almost died. You can't put a baby in that situation. Well, it turned out that the baby changed everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll tell you in Al-Anon and all the rest of it, like you cannot change for your kids or for anybody. You have to change for yourself first.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what the other girl did. She changed for herself, but then like part of her motivation is that she wants to be ready in case she ever walks through. And I said, you know what? She's 9. She's going to be coming into her teen years. You don't know when she's just going to be like, forget this.
100%.
Like, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I'm going to find my mom,
100%. 100%. Yeah. No, I just like songs like this. I like realism.
Yeah.
Like this is in the real world, this is what recovery looks like. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you're going to lose some relationships. And I think that's the wisdom behind saying you can't change for anybody, because if you root your motivation to change in a person, it's not a guarantee that person, even if you genuinely change, is still going to be there.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to kind of, self-automate in that situation.
Yeah.
So yeah. Much love to you, Marie. Hope everything is good with everybody. But yeah, I agree. I like this song a lot. 9.5. It's a 9 for me. It's a little bit of a slow song.
I love
I'm not
sappy.
a fan of slow songs, especially after like that Sepultura joint. But I was like blown away by the practicality of the lyrics.
Yeah. I'm giving this one a 9.9 because it took me back, and I enjoyed being 16.
Yeah,
I think being 16 around you would have been a fucking blast. But alas,
you would have enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think so.
You'd have enjoyed it.
I think so. Plus, at that age, I was like, my mind wasn't bogged down by many things, so everything. My mind was so friggin' curious all the time, and you're like an encyclopedia that walks around. So we would have had a lot in common. I would have been like, answer this. What about this? What do you think about this? Hey, what about that?
Yes, slave.
No, you like talking. What are you talking about?
Amy says, admit it, you like the song only because of your car.
Maybe. No, I think one thing that was cool was that that was probably the only time in my life, actually. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's the only time in my life that I've actually been able to choose my own what do I like for music. Like right now, if I'm in the car, the kids, they always want to show me some new song that they've done. If I'm in with Vinny's got his playlist going. And then when I'm by myself, I'm like, oh, I should be practicing our song. So I put that on. So I don't actually have any time that I spend exploring new music that I like. I mean, obviously on the channel we do, but when you're, I think that reacting to music on the channel and then just being alone in a car on a long drive, with the windows down. See, it would be fun, but we have such different taste in music that when I have a song going, I feel, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel this energy that you're when is this friggin' song going to be over? That's why my song wasn't even over.
You're not
I was
wrong.
listening to Florence and the King. The King one, and the song wasn't even over. I was like, you can just change it. And then I thought to myself, that was a little bit ridiculous. I've literally listened to 15,000 songs of yours. And this is how many of my songs have we listened to? 5 maybe in the whole time? I could have finished my friggin' song.
Are any of the kids into metal? Actually, no. It's kind of weird. They're all into...
No, I haven't listened to the Bach thing because I want to actually record it when I do so it can go up on Patreon. And everybody's been sick. They're just taking turns. Everybody's getting sick. So I've been doing tons of laundry and gross cleaning.
I didn't know that, Vibes. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that shit out. Talib,
so yeah, none of the kids are into that. Dorian is into basically, in my opinion, it sounded like anime Bach. I hated it. It was so friggin' depressing. He was like, what do you think about this song? I was like, this is the most depressing song I've heard in a really long time. Yeah. And he was like, actually, it goes to a really sad part of the anime. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And he tried to put on one that was happier the next time, which was better, but it still wasn't my style. Sayla listens to nightcore weird stuff.
Yeah. Sayla likes nightcore.
Zoe listens to kind of pop sort of stuff that Driver and stuff like that, just your typical teenage songs.
Yeah, it's fascinating. None of them are metal hits. I figured one of them.
Friggin' Johan doesn't do music. He just does a bunch of political videos.
I think Reza will be. I think Reza will be a metalhead. He's got the rage.
Orion might. Well, Reza, yeah.
He's got the rage and the dissatisfaction about him.
God, he's so quick to
Look at Jimmy.
Where? I'm not seeing Jimmy.
Jimmy Dore.
I literally. Oh, looking at his thumbnail.
Look
oh,
what he
defeated.
put on the thumbnail. Defeated.
Anyway, 9, you guys.
Solid 9. What'd you give it?
A 10 for me. It just brought me back. So.
All right.
It would have been somewhere in the 9s, definitely the high 9s, but it's going to a 10 because it was.
There we are, dear listener. Having said that.